Yo, existees and non-existees, name's Wormhole557, and welcome to the third anniversary video, but the fourth welcome to the channel video. Now I am going to do the most cliched Sonic fan thing ever. I'm gonna bring up Sonic 06 with news of a new Sonic game coming out. I'm not comparing 06 to TSR, because one's a platformer and the other's a racing game. I am going to essentially read out how I think Sonic 06 could be improved for a potential never gonna happen remake. These are the comments I typed out and will read out. I should have done that speech bubble better. I do believe you have a good few... wait, hang on, some of this doesn't make sense without the original comment shown. Yeah, screw it. I do believe you have a few good points there. For example, the music and the thing about Elise. But I think that as soon as almost anyone sees that a Sonic 06 remake is in development, the staff at Sega may have to prepare themselves for a bit of a war between that moment and years, maybe decades after the game's release. I do have a few ideas on how to fix things myself. I shall be using your structure to explain them if that is okay. Section 1. Things that should be changed. Section 2. Things the game did amazingly and should be highlighted. Section 3. My final thoughts outside of that. I could have done this better. Section 1. I had a lot on Sonic, apparently. Sonic. This one's a nitpick, but make the power gauge deplete when charging the spin dash and using the gems. Make the blue gem like the Unleashed boost, the sky gem actually teleport rather than just a large jump, the yellow gem doesn't make an annoying noise when the barrier is deployed, make the green gem's tornadoes easier to hit enemies with but not too much easier, make the white gem give Sonic a light speed attack, but can only work with a full base power gauge that has to be charged first before it can fire. And the purple gems just to grant flight, because, okay, I realize this may be stupid reasoning, but I think it would be a nice Knights reference. So, yeah, you can dismiss the purple gem's power if you like. In Elise levels, make the barrier protect you from damage, but not damage enemies. The power gauge will normally recharge at the rate it does in the Escort Elise missions with no mid-air recharge, but during the Escort Elise missions it charges at 1.1 times the pace. The pace. Should really have proofread this before I freaking commented. I don't know if it is just... I don't know, it just makes sense to me with the demigod trapped in Elise likely unknowingly channeling its power into Sonic. Increase Sonic's speed by, in 2/3 of the sections, by say 1 2/3 normal speed times normal speed for, normal gameplay. And I suppose that does include the max speed sections. Good God, that is going to be hell. And 1 1/3 times normal speed for the Escort Elise missions. Last point for Sonic's gameplay specifically, let a spin dash jump. That actually annoyed me. Shadow. Add an a land-to-air combat system like the one in Bayonetta games, but use chaos powers instead of guns, as opposed to just the 3-hit combo of spin kicks we got. Improve Chaos Blast by increasing the radius and the damage. Add aesthetics for the Chaos Control homing attack he has in Chaos Boost. Either make the level 2 Chaos Lance his normal Chaos Spear, or add a level 4 Chaos Boost, and use that to bring in Chaos Rift from Sonic Chronicles The Dark Brotherhood, which would insta-kill normal enemies, greatly damage the enemies that have moments of invincibility, and moderately damage boss fights, but drains your power gauge completely and takes time to fire off. finally, speed up Shadow by 1.5 times normal speed, and vehicles by 1.25 times normal speed. And apparently Silver needed the least amount of tweaking in its gameplay. Make the regular flight free. Make the teleport dash last until the power gauge is empty. Add more aesthetics to Silver's pyrokinetic powers, like a crosshair or reticle to see where you're aiming, and a cyan dome for the grab all attack that Silver uses in his boss fight. Finally, speed up Silver by 1 1/8 his normal speed. As for the side characters, speed them up all by 1.1 times the amount, and all up by between 1.1 times and 1.4 times. Improve Omega and Knuckles' gliding. Rouge and Knuckles don't glitch stick to the walls. Knuckles has a sort of Kid Icarus Uprising Magnus gameplay feel in combat, and all aiming has a crosshair or reticle to see where you are aiming. Make them optional based on if you change into them, like in a Sonic Heroes like fashion. So yeah, they would have to travel alongside you. Shit. Other. Have the levels accommodate for every character. One all-access path, and many other alternate paths that you can take at your discretion with the use of certain characters. Change Leash and Sonic's relationship to literally just friends interpretation, and make that very clear. And changing Leash into an animal character, because I just fucking smell the fans bitching if they're going to stay human in the remake. But then again, they'll bitch if they change the design. Whichever one does less damage. My thought would be like a lioness or something, because usually they're sort of synonymous with royalty when it comes to the wild. Have Knuckles revive Sonic using the Master Emerald to control the Chaos Emeralds, because he can do that. These Chaos Emeralds will be collected by Tails, Amy, Rouge, Omega, Shadow, Silver, and Eggman, Elise, Metal Sonic, or Blaze, containing Iblis. Add all of the playable characters into multiplayer, add animal NPCs so that the world feels more natural to be in, as you said. Really need to fucking check these things before I put it on the internet. More in the case that you need to actually read the comment this is a reply to for this to make more sense. To show that the overall world isn't just a bunch of humans with... Oh wait, that was a quote from him. To show that the overall world isn't just a bunch of humans with, what, 8 animal creatures and a robot? Give each character their own health stats, so that each character feels more different in terms of survivability. Give each character upgrades for their health, speed, attack power, combos, power gauge, and abilities. Have it explained somewhere that Elise's not crying for a decade is likely the result of a demigod being sealed within them, as it is feeding off her negative emotions in order to one day break free from its prison and wreak havoc on the world. Maybe a deeper look into Silver's backstory and why Blaze is in the future. Unlock super forms as a 50 rings transformation for a complete game. 100% Sonic's backstory, unlock the Shadow Garden. 100% Shadow's backstory, unlock level 4 Chaos Boost. 100% Silver's backstory, unlock Burning Blaze as a 50 rings transformation. 100% the last story to unlock a hub world time travel thing where you can travel between 10 years ago, present day, and 200 years in the future. 100% the whole game and unlock Hypersonic, Hyper Shadow, and Hyper Silver as a 100 rings transformation. Finally, iron out the glitches that nobody likes. Like that one where you homing attack a rail as Shadow and he just disappears entirely. Shit. This is taking long because this is a two-parter, isn't it? Crap. Section 2. The game clearly did music perfectly, and it would be great to hear remixes of some of these songs in games, like Dreams of an Absolution, or All Hail Shadow, or Mephiles' Phase 1 boss theme. It'd be ace. The graphics were brilliant, as were the character designs. It'd be nice to see them updated, but 06 Eggman is still my favourite Eggman design. Personally, I think the plots were good ones. Sonic, Eggman is trying to take over the world using the Chaos Emeralds and something called the Flames of Disaster. We needed to stop him. If Eggman succeeds, who knows what could happen? Shadow, the government has taken interest in an artifact known as the Scepter of Darkness. And since we found out that Eggman wants it, can't be anything good. We need to retrieve this artifact, guard it, and research it to see what secrets it holds. Silver, this world has been devastated for as long as I can remember. We keep fighting an endless battle, but it's no use. We can never truly defeat Iblis, the monster that's tearing this world asunder. For some reason, the spelling of it is ER instead of RE. Not sure if that's the actual spelling, but yeah. With its unquenchable flames, I must find a way to completely destroy Iblis. As time goes along, stories progress. We find out what the Flames of Disaster are. We learn the secrets of the Scepter of Dark. We learn what secrets the Scepter of Darkness hold, and learn that the only way to truly kill a demigod is to stop its birth, or at least its most recent unleashing. Each story gets a satisfying conclusion. Section 3. Despite how this kind of review appears, I see Sonic 06 as one of the best games of all time, glitches and all. I have a few nitpicks here and there, and apparently a lot of ideas on how to improve the game, but it will always remain one of my all-time favourites, just because of how fun it is to play and mess around it. It even introduced Silver, my new favourite Sonic character, and while the first game he was in didn't get that good a reputation, the character himself certainly did, in a manner of speaking. From the music to the glitches, from beginning to end, I love almost everything about this game, and that's why I'm giving it a 99%. It bothers me the most that this game is non-canon, but then again, it kind of had to be, with the final boss being a literal timeline-eating god. I'm surprised that Super Shadow and Super Silver were enough to take it down. Sort of. They went back in time and permanently erased Solaris, Mephiles, and Iblis, using Solaris' main purpose, correcting the mistakes of the past. A little bit of extra because a comment actually piqued my interest, and I felt I had to explain something. I was thinking the Soul Emeralds warped Blaze through time and space into Silver's apocalyptic future to help it, and at the end of Silver's story she uses her own version of Chaos Control to seal herself and Iblis into the other dimension. I should probably put another dimension. I also feel I need to explain how I'd make Blaze playable in the last story, considering the fact that Solaris eating timelines is practically encompasses everything, other dimensions included. Blaze could be playable in the last story. After being pulled from the dimension she sealed herself and the contained Iblis in. Here I was responding to someone who had their own theory on how Blaze got there, and adding it to my improved Sonic 06. And the whited out bits are their name, and the bits that only make sense if you've seen the comment. It's the same message across, though. Sonic existees and non-existees. That was... oh, fuck. Yeah. That was the 3rd anniversary video, but the 4th welcome to the channel video. You can leave your opinion on this video if you like, but if you do so, please, be honest. You can subscribe. Alright, and from here on in, the anniversary / welcome to the channel videos will be done like this. Unsubscribe, resubscribe, favourite, share, and leave a comment down below. Anyway, that's enough out of me. Hasta, and you'll hear me next time.